Give me that, hey, cause y'all ain't. Give me that, cause y'all ain't. Give me that, I gotta amp it up, cause y'all ain't loud enough. I gotta amp it up, cause y'all ain't loud enough. See, no, amp it up, it ain't loud enough. Been plugged in, I'm powered up. Got more time in, I'm houred up. Blessings coming down, I'm showered up. We got the fame and the name, yeah, you heard of us. Ways you can do the same, you ain't heard enough. We'll grab a seat, grab a plate, yeah, we serving up. Won't cost a thing, free game, yeah, we serving up. Yeah, amp it up, loud enough. 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 Amp it up, loud enough.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chaz C. No Roper, and you are now tuned in to Amplifier Community Connection. This amplifier is special, y'all. I'm gonna tell you why. It's special because we're talking about revenue. And in every community, you need some kind of revenue. So I brought this brother all the way from the city of Milwaukee. Y'all thought I was gonna say somewhere else. But this man has done some amazing things. I met this brother, I can't remember how many years ago. I don't even want to lie and say it, because it didn't make us, both of us, look old. But at the time, the brother was probably 80 to 100 pounds heavier, and he was digging deep into this field. And since then, this gentleman has gotten awards for him and his team. I don't want to just single it because he has a team. Everybody who does something great have a team. But him and his team have gotten awards from the governor, and they just got a brand new award. That's a big deal. I'm gonna let him talk about it. But it's because he continues to pour into his community, which is our community. So some people call him L, some people call him Big L. I call him Dr. Lamont Smith. Y'all show him some love. I'm gonna call you L for this instead of being the long.
We can be L.
So Lamont, man, first of all, thank you for coming, man. Thank you
sir.
for agreeing to doing this, man, because just give us the accolades that you've received. I know you don't do it for this because you're not that kind of guy. You're very laid back, you're very reserved. But the reason why I want you to do this is because I want people to know that you're not just talking out of the side of your mouth. That means there has been years and years of studying and training for you to get to where you are today. So tell us what the name of those awards are.
So me and my team has been awarded by the governor, Governor Evers, for Financial Literacy Award 2023. It's a big deal, not just for us, but really for us, if that makes sense to y'all.
Absolutely.
Okay? The Lifetime Achievement Award from the President, that's coming up June 1st. So I'll be going to Atlanta to receive that. And yeah, we just out here working, trying to help people, as many people as we can. That's the goal.
Absolutely, man. And that Lifetime Achievement Award is big because it ain't like you're 185 years old. You're young. We're young men still. Right. And you getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, your life it's not even half over. Right. So I think that's extremely important for those out there watching and those here in the audience to understand the caliber of individuals we have here today, because a lot of times you'll get these quote-unquote gurus who's trying to sell you something and just make some money off of you. But this brother has been doing things for free. Not saying he do everything for free. I'm not saying that. But he's been doing so much for free for years in the community. So obviously it's just like a doctor. There are great doctors out here. I bet you don't get a free doctor bill. There are great musicians out here. But if they're your music director, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to pay, right? But this brother has sold into the community so much that whatever you receive is well-deserved, and it's long overdue because of the seeds you put out in the community, man. So I want to start off by saying, wondering, how did you start this? What got you into this?
So with credit, I got married in 2012. And when I met my wife, we got married after 6 months. I didn't have nothing, right? I was making $12.75 an hour. My credit was 530, but she was making 150, right? Her credit was good. I'm like, she don't need me for nothing, Chad.
Right.
Let me figure this out. I have to bring something to the table. So I just started working on credit. Started working on my credit. In 4 months, I was at a 689. So I fell in love with it. So I just took off and started doing my family credit, friends credit for free. Until she said, man, you got to do something because ink and paper cost. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just took off from there, met Cameron, and we started doing some amazing things in the community.
And so let's touch on some of the things you're doing in the community. Let's start there. You and Cam, what's up, Cam, out there in the audience, man? Cam told me about this. Obviously, I knew some, but we were in Mexico, I think. And me and Cam was sitting down eating. We were in Mexico, and I was like, man, what you got going on? And he started telling me, yo, me and Lamont, we doing blah 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 blah. So and I'm like, word. So that's when we saw each other. I'm like, man, I didn't even know you were doing. Man, I'm very reserved. I'm like, no, this doesn't need to be reserved. There's a lot of things that people are doing incorrectly and wrong that need to be reserved. And they loud. But you're doing something right. So go ahead and talk to me about that, man.
So we partnered with Wibbick. What was that, Cam? Probably 2022. I believe we partnered with Wibbick. We oversee over 800 people for free. Of course, paid for by Wibbick, but free to our people in the community, which is the key. We don't want to take money out the mouths of the people in the community.
Absolutely.
For this. We can educate them. So, we started working on credit, and when you start to grow, when business starts to grow, and your foundation is not in place, it's not going to last. Right? So we started to grow, and I was up late doing letters. I'm tired of doing letters, Chad.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, man, Cam, we got to figure something out. So Wibbick came along, which gave us an opportunity to pour into people and still get paid for it. So, I sleep well at night.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's the key, man. Now, with that, let's stay in the Wibbick area. Your goal with them is to help the individuals get their credit scores.
Yep. It just ain't about the scores.
Okay.
A lot of times we get caught up in scores. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they tell us we can get a 700 score in 45 days. Well, I'm here to tell you that's a lie. Okay? And if you do get it, it ain't going to last long because they didn't educate you.
Right.
Right? They took your money, right, and boost your score up, but no education. They didn't help you change the mindset.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a mindset of money. If you don't know, you will be right back to me. And so that's our goal, is to educate, motivate, and teach you how to leverage.
Now, I was listening to a podcast or something, and there were 3 things that all business owners should understand. When it comes to getting a mentor, in order to make sure that you have the right mentor, there are 3 things you want to do, and you want to understand. First, the first thing is you want to make sure you can learn, you can make sure you can serve, and you make sure you can pay. And I'm going to tell you why each one of those are important. If I'm mentoring somebody, or somebody want me to mentor them, I want to make sure that they have a heart of service. That means when they get something from me, whatever information they get from me, they're willing to share with others. Because what it's doing now is it's exponentially growing in the community.
Yes.
Right? And then once I see that, and I'm sure my brother Lamont is the same way, once I see that they're willing to serve, then they start to learn. Meaning, I'm making a carbon copy of myself just at a different level, because nobody's gonna be Lamont. I'm sure you and Cameron do things different, but it's still correct.
It's still the same. Yes.
Right. So the next part is making sure that individual really wants to learn. And then when I say the word pay, anything that you want that is of value, you pay for it.
You pay for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an example. How many Camry commercials do you see? Toyota commercials? See quite a lot, right? How many Bentley commercials have you seen? Rolls Royce? None, right?
Yeah.
That's because of quality. You pay for quality. So when the quality is there, you don't mind spending your money. When I say spending money for classes, something where you're learning, not for something where somebody's just doing a service, reason why what made me think of this is because he was saying people were taking people's money and providing a service, but wasn't teaching them.
And I'm gonna say this because I'm guilty of that too. So I'm not just gonna throw it off on them, right? I'm in that space as well. So in the beginning, I was doing that.
Right.
Not educating people.
Right.
You don't have time to.
Right.
Because you got so many clients or whatever it may be, right? And for me, I'm sure y'all don't know me, but I had a speech impediment since I was 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to nobody, man.
Right.
That's what I got Cam for.
Right.
Okay? so I never wanted to do that, which caused issues within the business. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you make that pivot into education instead of trying to get clients and as consumers and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So make sure when you're looking for your mentor or whoever that they have those are 3 principles you're looking for. Or if you're looking for a mentor, make sure that person that you're looking to are looking for those qualities, because if you can do those, if you can have those 3 things, there's a certain level of success there's a certain percentage that you will be successful. Because a lot of times when you're just paying people for things, you're not getting all the information. And then it shows that the person that's mentoring you doesn't really care about you for real. They just care about getting that quick whatever.
Quick money.
So you want to make sure that you're spending your time more so than your money, because you can make more money, but you can't buy more time. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point that out when he said that. It just that just triggered a thought in my mind.
Having a mentor is key because it accelerates you. Right?
Yes.
I mean, 2021, 2022, I spent over $20,000 on a mentor. All right? I ain't going to throw no names out there.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, when I met him, I had an 800 credit score already.
Mm-hmm.
When I met him, I had $165,000 in credit cards already. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
I didn't know how to leverage it. So I had to reach out and get somebody to assist me.
Absolutely. So that's what today is about, is figuring out, once we got what we need, how do we leverage what we need? Because that's what every other community does but ours.
Yep.
And when I say ours, I mean black and brown. So if you're Hispanic, if you're African American, if you're Indian, if you whatever, I want to make sure we understand that we learn what others do in their successes.
Right.
Because it's about leveraging. So first step is making sure your PG is correct, your personal credit is correct,
yes,
right?
Sir.
And what are some things we need to look for in the personal credit space that we need to make sure is on point to give us those numbers or those.
Go get capital.
Absolutely.
All right. So the first things first, your payment history has to be 100%. That's 192.5 points of your score. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure you pay your bills on time, right? Utilization is 30%. That's another 165.5 points of your score. But it's a ways around the utilization, right?
Yes.
Just make sure you're paying your bills on time, using those cards correctly, right? And making sure your business and stuff structured, making sure you got enough accounts on that credit report. Because a lot of times we get caught up in the score. I can get you a 700 credit score in a couple weeks by adding 3 or 4 accounts. But if that file don't look right, you ain't going to get approved for nothing. I'm going to give you an example. I have a son, 18, and he graduated this year, but he got a 785 credit score. But that's not because of him. That's right. Because of his parents. Right. So if he go get a car or go for a loan or something like that, they're not going to give him anything because he haven't shown them that he's able to handle debt. Right? Banks and institutions want to see if you're able to handle debt. And if you can't handle your own debt, how you going to handle what it is that they give you?
Right.
But the problem is we all chasing a lie. Facebook and all that stuff tell you, well, you can go get $50,000 on, right? No. Are you set up to go do that? Stop chasing the illusion and focus in on what it is that you have to do as far as the foundation of your credit, because that's going to take you, your business, and your family to the next level.
Absolutely.
People don't understand, and I'm going to say this, Chad.
Say it.
But our credit is like 40 acres and a mule not coming.
Facts.
Right? Let's just be honest, right? Our credit is our 40 acres and a mule. That's our meal ticket, black, brown.
Yeah.
Right? We have to treat it as such.
That makes sense. And there's some amazing things you can do with your credit.
Yes, sir.
It was things that I had good credit for a long time, but I didn't understand the mindset of leveraging it. And when I speak of leveraging it, we're going to get into that later on in the conversation of how. Having good credit is great, but leveraging the credit into actual money to yourself is a whole nother thing. And there's a lot of people out here I see that are artists, songwriters, producers, and things of that nature. that was something that I needed coming up. I had good credit coming up, but didn't know how to leverage the good credit I had. If I'd have known this, what I learned from him 20 years ago, man, y'all wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be up here talking to y'all right now. So God knew what he was doing. He ain't give me all what he's supposed to back then, because I've been doing something foolish. I ain't gonna lie. Because once I learned something, I'm like an addict. It's like a drug to me, because now I'm chasing that feeling over and over and over again. Because I learned something new, and when I learn something new, that's not illegal.
Right.
Man, and I can make money off of it. I can pay a mortgage off of this.
Yeah.
So let's get into that, because this was when we were sitting down eating breakfast. And he got to telling me all these things. And then you got to do this and boom, 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 boom. This was Saturday morning. He's like, man, the same American Express you got for your personal, you should get it for your business. And the same this you got for that. Monday morning, I called him and said, dog, I got boom, 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 boom. He's like, what? He said, man, you ain't playing. I said, bro, I don't know what play means if you're not in the game getting paid for it. And literally, everything that he said you could do, we sat at the table. He said, you got an Apple wallet? I said, yeah, of course. He said, do you have an Apple card? I said, no, they keep offering it to me, but I just don't. He's like, what? He's like, right here at the table, go ahead and fill out for the Apple card right now. Watch what they do. We was eating breakfast, but by the time our food came, I had $50,000 on the Apple card. Yeah. Sitting at the table at breakfast. Yeah. I said, bro, I had an iPhone for 38 years, and it wasn't even out yet. I had one. And I never knew. They didn't pull your
credit neither, did they?
They didn't pull no credit or nothing. They literally gave me $50K. But it's little things like that. If I don't know, I don't know.
Right.
And I've been handling business, buying houses, doing everything for years. Never knew that. And I'm the iPhone. I'm the most, what you call that when you pay when you click on the side of your phone? I'm the king of that. Boom, boom, bing, whatever that. I forgot what it's called, but I do that all the time. Apple Pay. I'm the Apple Pay god. Never knew I can get an Apple card for Apple Pay. Never knew it. It's crazy. So talk to us about getting those different cards and then transitioning your personal to your business. Yeah.
Okay. So first you got to know exactly what it is that you want. What is your goals, right? Because you don't want to get credit cards and you don't have an assignment, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to run it up. Then you're going to be in debt. And then you're going to file bankruptcy or whatever it is, or charge, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you have an assignment, right? Know exactly who you want to apply for, right? Know who you want a relationship with. Banking is about relationships. Right? If I ask one of y'all for $10,000, y'all gonna look at me like I'm crazy, right? But if I ask Cam gonna give it to me. Well, he better, right? Why? Because that relationship is there, right? That's the same way the banks look at it.
Yep.
Banking is about relationships. So what do? You go get you an account with them, put $50 in there, checking and savings, and build a rapport with them. Why? Because they lend our money out 10, 11 times, so give them that opportunity, right? You wait 20, 30 days, and then you start to apply. But first, that credit gotta be right. Your credit has to be right. 15 USC 1692G, validation of debt. If you have collections, search that code and start writing that letter. I need to see is a great phrase that I love. I need to see, who did you verify this with? What's their name? What's their number, right? And things of that nature. You want to ask the credit reporting agencies that. That's how you get those removed, right? And after you build your relationship, you removed all those collections. Make sure you add accounts. You can add Boom. If you currently rent, add Boom Pay. It's $3 a month, right? But they're going to go back 24 months on your credit, which give you age, because age is needed when you're applying, right? Kickoff, Self, Cheese, and all these accounts. If you have high utilization, get on somebody's credit card that you love, right, that pay their bills on time. Because if they don't pay their bills on time, you're going to get everything with their card, all right? Then you start to apply. Have a plan. Apply horizontally, not vertically, which means you got to know where the banks pull from. That's the game of credit, knowing where everybody pull from, right? So I'm going to give you an example. Let's use U.S. Bank. They pull from TransUnion, unless it's another product, right? And then they're going to pull the Equifax, right? Or Experian for PNC Bank. So you got to know what bank you want. Know their products better than them, right? Search the product that you want. And then you leverage that. You can make $42,000 a year off 2 credit cards if you know what you're doing. But you got to know what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just got to know. You want to talk business?
Yeah. So age. You talk about the age of credit. That's important, and that's what people don't understand. I would rather have a card that has 10 years of age with a lower limit than a card that got $100 million on it, but it's only 1 year old.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand how important age of the credit is. Talk about why age of the credit is important.
Age is important because banks want to see, like I was stating with my son, they want to see that you're able to handle debt and how long you've been handling debt, right? So that age should be 5 or 6 years. And how do you get that if you don't have that? Just get on somebody's card that has age, right? That pay their bills on time. Majority of us have age because we got student loans.
Facts.
Right? And we so in a rush to remove these student loans, but our credit gonna suffer if they come off your credit, right? So I would say add accounts like Boom Pay, get on somebody's credit card, kick off self, and then you should be at a 680, which you ready for funding in business or personal.
Right. And when you say get on somebody's credit card that you love, that pay their bills on time, those is all that go together. That means if I have a card that's 10 years old that has a $50,000 limit and I pay my bills on time, you will want to get on my card as an authorized user. Because what it's going to show on your account, it's going to show the same on my account as your account. As if this is your card, this is an account of yours that has 10 years and $50K.
Right.
But I paid my bills on time.
Right.
If I miss a payment, your credit score going to drop too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So make sure y'all catch what he's saying with that. That's extremely important.
Yeah. A lot of people struggle with having a thin file. You should have at least 10 accounts. And it's accounts out there that you can add. You don't want to add anything that's going to pull your credit. So, for example, self-help credit union.
Yes.
Self-help credit union has a secured loan. They're not checking your credit or anything like that. Everybody should add something like that. I built my credit on a secured credit card, which now is like, I'd rather get the loan because it looks sexier to the lenders, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and a secured loan is what? Talk to us about what a secure loan is.
So a secure loan is just you putting your money, right, inside the bank, and you're using your own money. So I normally tell people to get like a pledge loan with Navy Federal, get a couple of those, and start paying those off. It just looks good. So I say secure loans, then secure credit cards.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Yeah. And secure credit cards are credit cards that what? But I'm
Nope. Secure credit cards, you put your own money on there. So you're gonna put $100, $200 on there, and that's all you can use. But think about this: when you go buy lunch or when you go buy gas, now you over that 30% mark.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? And if you don't understand your statement date and due dates and stuff like that, now it's reporting to the credit reporting agencies and it's dropping your score.
Right. So now I'm glad you brought that up because that's why I was getting ready. The reason why I asked him that because this is the next thing. Due date and report date of credit cards. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the importance of those dates.
Yep. So your due date, what's today anyway?
Today's the 27th.
Yep. So let's see. I had a card due on the 25th, right? You pay that card on that date. However, 3 or 4 days later, it's going to report to the credit reporting agencies. You want your score, you want your credit file, your balance as low as possible before that report date, and then just use it again. Now, instead of having 30 days, you got about 45 days to do what you got to do.
Right.
So knowing those two is key.
Make sure, I was talking to one of our brothers in the back on our production team about having a card, the card that I use specifically for gas, food. I use the same card for everything instead of the money that I'm going to spend anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll just use it on that for the whole month. If it saves $1,000, that means I would spend a G. I'm just gonna wipe him to zero.
Yeah.
I pay my things 2 days before my due date. I just do that. I got my due dates for all my cars because I got so many. I got them all set on auto to pay the minimum. All of them right away.
And then you go back.
Yeah. Then if I miss, which I never do because I got alerts on my phone to tell me you pay this today, pay that today, pay that, and then I'll pay it to zero. So every time it reports that I have zero usage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
always talk about giving your credit an assignment, right? Yep. Like Chad was saying, he got one credit card that he used for gas, et cetera, et cetera. You should do that. Why? For two reasons. giving that a card assignment, like you said, you're going to pay those bills anyway with it, right? The second thing is giving, I'm going to use U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank going to love you because you're paying your bills in full, and now they're going to extend those limits.
Yep.
And that's what it's about.
And so I'll give you an example and what he's speaking of. He the credit guy, I'm the example guy. So let's say I had American Express that got, I don't know, 60, 70 G's on it. So I wanted to get the interior of my home painted. The interior of painting my home cost me like $30,000. I was going to spend $30,000 cash. I lied. Let me go back. The car limit was $40,000 at the time. I was going to spend $30,000 cash money to get the interior of my home painted. So instead of spending $30,000 cash money, I swiped the $30,000. I'm going to spend the money anyway. Now, mind you, my card has an assignment.
Yeah.
This is my Reserve American Express Sky Miles card. Meaning any dollar I spend on there, they give me a mile for Delta to go fly wherever, Acapulco and all these other places, wherever I want to go. So, boom, I swipe it, $30,000. My due date coming up, I was going to pay $30,000. So I pay it to $0.
Yeah.
Once my report date occurred, guess what I did, y'all?
Ask for an increase.
I called it American Express and said, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? It's me. It's that $30,000 boy with the $40,000 credit.
Yeah.
I'm just calling to see, can I get a pay increase? Yeah. Well, let's look at your usage.
Yeah.
Oh, we see you just spent $30K.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, man, y'all playing. I need to go get some other cars. Can I shoot it up? Where you want to go? Take me to 100. That's what I said. Take me to 100. Now, you gonna want to go to 1 million if they give it to you.
Right.
They're going to tell you where they're going to put you, though. But you don't want to say, give me 10 more thousand.
Right,
no, they might have gave you 40.
Yeah.
But you only asked for,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, I was at 40. I said, take me to 100. They said, well, we can't give you 100 because you'll only use 30, but we'll give you 75. I'll take it.
Right.
So now, what that one card did was, if I have 10 other cards at $5,000 a piece, that's 50. That one card just added another $35,000 to my overall credit that I have.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Right. And that's the goal, is to have, if you can have $1 million in credit that's available to you, right, but you still keeping your usage to your 100,000, because that's 10% or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So these are things you're going to do anyway. So all of you guys out there that's watching us that have a card for $1,000, you're gonna buy your gas. You're gonna spend that money anyway. Even though you may spend $500 or $600, long as you pay the bill, like he said before I say before the due date. He gonna say before the statement date. Yeah. I'm gonna say before the due date. This just in case, because life be lifing sometimes, and you don't want to miss. So if you pay it the day before your due date, when they report to your credit report, it's gonna say you have a 0 credit usage, even though you just ran up 600, 700, or 70% or 60%. You get what I'm saying?
And that's the go. And the other thing it do by using it, I like to shop for free. I like to fly for free. So that's what that do. That $30,000, man, you went around the world with that one.
Oh man, that was a free trip to Mexico. Yeah. Because when you pay for certain, and know what your cards do.
Yep.
Because certain cards, when you buy certain things, you get extra points on that card. So if I stay at a hotel and I'm gonna spend $20,000 for that trip or whatever, and I put it on that card, that $20,000 sometimes is times 3. So that $20,000 is 60,000 miles. So make sure you understand, he used the key phrase where he said assignment. Yeah. Make sure you know what each card or each piece of credit you have, what their assignments are. My Sky Miles cards are strictly for us to travel on. Yeah. Literally, whether it's my business one or my personal one. Yeah. And me, I'm going to use my business one because when it's time to do write-offs at the end of the year, all I got to do is give them that statement.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
10 minutes of business talk, huh?
There you go.
Right off.
Write me off, cuz. Write me on off. That's what you want. Am I correct?
No, yeah, you're right.
And I got that from him, though.
So that's why it's important to have business, and I don't know if I'm moving too fast, but business credit is so key. I always tell people my 835 and my whatever I have in credit is for my wife and my kids. That business credit, the credit guy gonna take care of me though. So I'm gonna fly off him.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you got to make sure your business is structured properly to get what it is that you desire for your business.
Facts.
A lot of us have hobbies and side hustles because we're not structured the correct way to even walk in the bank and ask for $50,000.
And another thing too, especially when you're dealing with like certain, like American, I say American Express, they're my favorite because I got about 8 American Express cards. I ain't gonna lie, but they're my favorite because they'll do things like this. Hey, brother, we've been seeing you doing great for the last whatever couple years. Yeah. We got this line of credit that maybe you might want to try it out.
Right.
You think I'm gonna say no? You want to give me a 40?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say no?
I'm taking that.
I'm gonna take the 40. I may not have nothing to do with it, but the difference is I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with relationships, is what he was talking about as far as business, you get that same relationships with credit cards.
Yes, sir.
I literally started a semi-truck company the other day.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago I told you?
A couple weeks ago.
I bought a semi-truck. I don't even know how to turn it on. I don't know how to turn it on. I literally don't know how to turn it on. But guess what I bought it with? That line of credit.
Yeah.
So now I leverage that credit to make me some money.
But yeah, everybody don't have that mindset.
No, facts.
The mindset different. We want a house or a car.
Yeah,
both of which is a liability unless somebody else paying for it.
Exactly.
Right? We so in a rush to get these things because the American dream, right? That illusion that I was talking about.
Facts.
Right? Instead of trying to go get assets to build something, to leave a legacy for our kids or our family.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And that makes sense. So that's a step of leveraging, having access to that capital.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's there for us. Like, and it's the wrong platform, but look. So don't nobody give us nothing, right? Credit is ours already. They only extend to us what's ours, right? So I suggest go read a little bit, read consumer law and things like that, and then you'll be all right with that. But they extend to us what's ours.
So this is my platform, right? So we don't have to save nothing. Keep it funky on this podcast. Right. So what he's saying is there's a certain amount of money out there for every single person out here. Learn how to use it to your advantage because that, for example, I paid $25,000 for this truck, right? The truck is owned, already owned. You got somebody driving right now, going somewhere. I don't even know where. I just know when the money come in. You know what I'm saying? The difference is I ain't in the truck. So I'm up here doing this right now. Yeah. And it's moving. It's on the road right now.
Passive income.
Guess what? I didn't even pick the truck out. I only know what it looked like because they showed it to me on FaceTime. Y'all laughing, but I'm serious. Yeah. I never been in it. I never touched it. Nothing. But it's making. I'm getting revenue from it every week. I've seen people do houses like that. Yeah. I ain't gonna blow your spot up with your house, your doors. But some people we know that's around in this room, maybe on the stage with me, that's not me, will buy a house and won't even be in that state. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then able to do what they do with that house because they leverage their credit. I got a good friend of mine, Will Round, who do the same thing. Man got plenty doors. If he got 100 doors, he probably seen 15 of the 100. Right. So it's about leveraging. Yeah. So now that we're talking about the leveraging, let's talk about how we can leverage our personal credit cards. What's a way for us to leverage our personal credit cards? Because you were talking about it earlier, like if your credit ain't good enough, you need to get on somebody else's card. Yeah, so leveraging your personal credit, like I was saying before, that's $42K a year if you know what you're doing, right? So there's a lot of people out here, let's use us, right? Mm-hmm. Wisconsin ranked number 3 when it comes to credit score, right? A lot of us don't know that, right? But if you go down to us in Milwaukee, we 2451. If you go a little deeper, 53205, 53206, we're in the 5s, right? Why? Because things like this, right? People don't show up, right? Right. Or we don't put on things like this to give people the information, right? So what was your question? I got going. It's all good. How do we leverage our personal credit? Yep. So $42K a year. So let's say you have bad credit, right? And you're going to come to me and say, hey, Lamont, can I get on your credit card? Well, if it's me, it's $650. If it's my nephew, he $850. So you may want to come to me, right? But that's 2 credit cards. You know what I mean? People out here that have bad credit that need that, that's a whole business. Yeah.
that you can use that. Go ahead. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Or you can go to trade line supply. Trade
line supply.
Trade line supply. You can go there.
.com.
Yep. No.
That's okay,
we
brother.
Good,
It's okay. That's why you're here.
Yep.
It's all good.
So,
You made it though. The difference is your car broke down and you still got here.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But because you wanted it. You wanted to know. You see what I'm saying? It's people cars running right now that registered to be here for free. Did you pay anything to get here? No, you did not. It cost you $0. I said everything. It was free. If you did pay, somebody got you, Doc. But it's all y'all got to hear for free, right?
Yeah.
This is free game. Everything I do, I give free game because I want to make sure that you're able to get it. A lot of times we don't get information because it costs too much. Ain't no excuse for something. I'm going to give you an example. Back in the day, everybody wanted an Hermes belt with the big H. Y'all remember them belts with the big H's? They out here looking like WWF wrestlers with the H's, right? Everybody wanted one. You pay $1,500, $1,200 for the belt. How many of those people had a library card and it was free?
Right.
See? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If I was charging $350, $1,000 to get in, it'd be like, man, we had to stop selling tickets. And the same knowledge that we giving for free. So what that says is it's about a mindset, which go back to what he's talking about.
Your mindset got to be right.
Got to be right. So now we got our personal credit together.
Right.
We know how to leverage that.
Yeah.
Let's get into the business side because this is what a lot of people came here for. They want to know how to get funding and things. My man got a production company over here. My man right there, songwriter, artist, shoot his own videos. I know he want to do his thing. My videographer / director, executive director of my thing. He's flying all across the globe with the big boy cameras. You know, he got 100,000 here, 100,000 there, but he want to know how to get somebody else 100,000. Hello, Willie Shakes.
Right. All right, so look. So, again, that business got to be structured properly. And how you structure your business, make sure your NAIC code is right.
Stop.
So
what is that?
It's called a NAC code, so for credit, right? I don't use credit because it's a high-risk industry.
Absolutely.
Like you shouldn't use trucking because it's a high-risk industry.
Facts.
It should be logistics.
Yes,
it's sexier, right?
Exactly.
To the banks.
Absolutely.
I don't use credit. I use, consulting.
That
sound better, right?
It's way better.
You make sure your NAC code and stuff is right and proper. Make sure you got a website. Your website ain't got to be like mine, 6-7 pages, but it got to say, hey, I do credit or something, just one page. You get what I'm saying? These are all things that you need because when the banks look at it, like, you don't have nothing. What kind of business are you?
Exactly.
Right? You really shouldn't have your home address if you're really not a home-based business.
Facts.
But a lot of us do. Our paperwork is jacked up because we didn't set it up properly.
Facts.
We don't have an operating agreement. We don't have bank accounts, right? A lot of banks, your business don't start until you get a bank account for some of them, right? Phone numbers. When I answer my phone for my boys, is what up, bro, right? But with business, how you doing? Thank you for calling the credit card, MKE. But a lot of us have the same phone number for everything. So just separate it. You can use a Google Voice number.
Facts.
Or you can use a Global Voice Direct. It's $9 a month. So these things are important to going out to get business credit because banks are looking. Websites and all this Google reviews, listyourself.net, and all these things matter. List your business because that speaks for your business when you're not around to speak for it.
Facts. And notice how just small word changes. You have a trucking company. Never name it after yourself.
No.
C Notes Trucking.
No.
That just look like you don't know what the hell you're doing. Look local.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of on the move logistics.
Right.
Logistics stand for we moving stuff around time from this point to that point. It's going to be there when you ask for it to be there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Only time that works is if you're a publishing company or a music company. It works then. Like, for example, my company is J Productions Publishing. So we produce music and we publish it. So which means not just music. I can do movies. I can do books. I can put anything as far as entertainment under that. That's why I didn't call it entertainment.
Right.
I didn't call it Big Sound Entertainment. I didn't do nothing wrong with that, but I didn't do that because productions speak of a vast variety of things, a vast arrangement of things.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you name your company, it's cool coming up with a slick name, but what is the assignment of the name? Because it's not just for you and your hometown or your homies.
No.
You thinking global,
Right.
not domestic,
Right.
around the world. When I put a song out and I get nominated for a Grammy, I lost to Adele. She's not from the United States. I lost. But I didn't lose to nobody here.
Right.
I lost to Adele over the water. That's how you lose. If you're going to lose big.
Lose big.
I didn't lose to Lamont.
Yeah.
Because Lamont don't write music. Thank God. Because I might have lost to him. He right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But think about it like that. That's how, if you're a sports person, how many people watch the Super Bowl? Yeah, pretty much everybody, right? The Kansas City Chiefs didn't beat the Kansas City Monarchs. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers. The distance between San Francisco and Kansas City is over 1,500 miles. That means they didn't lose or win against somebody in their own backyard.
Right.
That's how your thought process should be in whatever your gift is. You don't want to lose or compete against your own backyard. I'm the best in the city.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
This is a D market. Who cares?
Right. Yeah.
You want to compete against the world in whatever you do. Credit guy MKE.
Yeah.
But he went in the what award? The June
June 4th, the
Presidential Honors Award. Guess what that means? There's a whole bunch of other people from other places that could have won that award. That's not from the city of Milwaukee.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So make sure you set yourself up for the world, not just where you are.
Home. So now that you did that, your foundation is in place because now that credit 680, 700, right? That business structure is there. Now it's time to add some things, right? You don't have to add a lot because you want to add what you use. So I think he said some video guys here, right?
Yep.
So a Best Buy Advantage, right? Business card. Add something that you're going to use. Don't go add Quill. You're not going to use Quill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not using that. Add something you're going to use. For instance, like I use a lot of paper and ink.
Yep.
So I got Office Depot.
Right.
I got Quill. So you want to add stuff you're going to use, you can add some gas cards. Gas cards reports. You want to add things that report to the business reporting agencies, Credit Safe, Experian Business, et cetera, right? So you want things that report. Gas cards report. You can add as many as you want, right? So after you add these items, 3 to 5 of those, now if your credit's solid, everything match up, meaning 680, 700, you have no collections, you don't have no late payments, your payment history good. Now it's time to go get what you want. Right? What it is you desire. But first, make sure that relationship is intact. So if it was me, I'm at Town Bank, and I'm saying, let me get an account open, right? Because I'm coming for 50. Right? They only going to do a soft pull on your experience. Right? Again, the game of credit is knowing where people pull from and what their requirements are. That's 610, 50,000. Right? But that business got to be structured.
Right. That's key. Structure is everything.
Other thing, American Express, Chad love them, I love them too. Everybody should love them.
Facts.
American Express, you can get as many cards as you want with the same inquiry.
Yep.
Meaning, you apply for a card today, they're going to say you approve. But then you can go back tomorrow and get 2 more if you want to. But if you do that, what you going to do with them?
Facts.
What's the plan? You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have a plan.
Yep.
Right? You could take your LLC and create a foreign entity in another state, right? Each state, 50, right? And get $100,000 from each state. I'm not great at math. I use CAM for that. But that's $5 million.
Right.
In funding. What can you do with $5 million in funding? But are you ready for that? Or are you going to go buy a car, right?
Do
You're
something
going to go buy
goofy.
something. You ain't got.
Right.
Assets. Assets over liabilities. We can do all this. But, I always ask people, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Because it go quick. It can happen. Credit cards, you can go get Chase Bank. That's Experian. You can go get the business card with them. But now you got business and personal. I got $1.4 million in credit cards and lines of credit. I can go do what I want to do, right? But no, that's leverage.
Leverage.
You leverage. And that's what we don't teach, sadly, right? We tell you to come sign up for our program, right? We take your money, you know what I'm saying? And we don't teach you nothing. That's all we want, which is sad.
And the key is making sure you understand or have a plan for what you want to do with that.
Yeah. I always say don't take no money off a credit card, again, unless you have an assignment. I done took $90,000 off a credit card and went and bought a house. But I had an assignment because I knew I had a tenant there paying $2,500 for rent. And after 4 months, I'm going to go get a loan on that house because it was paid in full for $150. Now I'm up. You feel me?
Absolutely. And make sure you understand the difference between opportunity and assignment. The opportunity is having the right credit to go get the credit cards or the credit, the funding. But the assignment is to make that opportunity pay for everything else.
Yeah.
So that's why he's using the term assignment. And getting it is an opportunity. And that's it. That goes for not just this, that goes for anything. I don't care if you're writing music for somebody. The opportunity is being in the room with that artist.
Yeah.
The assignment is writing the best record that you've ever written for an artist and the best record they've ever had in their career. Now that opportunity became an assignment. Why? Because now that artist is going to talk and their team is going to talk so much about you that you're going to write songs for hundreds of other artists. Yep. Now they become your assignments off of that opportunity. You get the difference? I just try to break it down because I got music people in here too, not just business people.
So I'm going to say something.
Go ahead.
So if you're a business owner and your credit is bad, right, and you married or you got a business partner, you can use that business partner to go get access to capital. Just change your operating agreement. Anybody over 25%, they must be on the application. So you lower your percentage and put them in higher and go get what you want.
Facts. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Get that to them one more time. That's good. I didn't know that.
Yep. So your operating agreement is key. So if you're a business owner and you got a business partner that has great credit and your credit you still working on, right? You can use that business partner to go get capital or credit card, whatever it is that you want, because their credit is good. Just change the operating agreement because anybody that owns 25%, they have to be on that application, right? So you change yourself to 24%, right, and give them the rest. You feel me? You can always change an agreement.
And hopefully you're doing business with real
somebody
people.
You trust.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I was just about to say that. Because you get somebody, I finally got him. He ain't got no good credit. I own 76% of the company. It's over for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So make sure you understand who you're doing business with, too. That's key.
Literally, y'all, we can do whatever we want to do when it comes to credit. We just got to, it's the mindset.
It's the mindset, and it's the education.
It's the education. Yeah.
Because that's the key. Education is key when it comes to this. This part, because we could talk all day.
I know, man.
But I want to give the opportunity, because some people literally came here because they had specific questions. Like my man right here, he got people who. If you got some questions, just put your hand up. If you got a question about this, if it's something we've talked about thus far before we move forward, and you don't understand, please raise your hand so you can talk to us. Yes, sir. You got a question?
Right now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir. You know, no, we didn't.
No.
We can actually talk.
Yeah.
Because I got partners and things like that, and we can talk about that off air. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any general questions before we move forward? If anything we talked about, anybody got a question about anything we discussed thus far? Because we can ready to move forward.
When you say about putting the business at 24 and 25%, when the person applies for that loan or whatever they're applying for, it doesn't hit their personal credit, right?
No, you always want to separate personal from business. Unless, like, Capital One, Discover Business, Fidelity, they will report to your personal. You always want to separate. You don't want to use nobody that's going to report to your personal.
Yep. Facts. American Express don't. Just for the record.
You're going to get a partnership with
This is sponsored by.
Right.
But while we're saying that, this podcast is sponsored by Hyphen, Radio Milwaukee, and Milwaukee Mics. I want to thank my sponsors because they're able to do this. We're able to do this for free because of all three of those. And we're getting ready to add some more to it. So if you're looking to be a sponsor, make sure you reach out to us because we continue to educate the community. That's our goal. Yeah. Okay, so now we got our credit together. We're starting to roll in with our business credit. When it comes to taxes, as a business owner, what are things we need to make sure we have in place so when we go to our accountant or our tax preparer so that we're not in trouble on the business side? Let's talk about that.
So I think having your profit and loss statement.
Okay.
A lot of banks ask for 2 years of tax returns.
Yep.
So again, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yep.
So
2023,
the end of 2023, beginning of this year, this quarter, banks is tightening up a little bit, right? Because we've seen 56% of delinquencies on lines of credit, right? We 1.8 trillion in debt, in credit card debt as a whole. So now it's making it real hard for people that really need it to go out there and get it because everybody then used it and not paying it. They went and bought chains. Right?
Cars, goofy stuff.
Right? So it's kind of hard right now, and I bring that up because he asked about tax returns. Now a lot of people want to see those tax returns. So now it's hard for a business that just started that haven't filed. You may get 7,000, 8,000.
Yeah.
Is that enough for marketing? Because growing a business is about marketing.
Absolutely.
Right? So is that enough to really market your business? You know what I mean? So your tax returns is important.
Facts.
Yeah.
Tax returns is extremely important. And if you're trying to borrow money, for all the people who like to get refunds, let me just talk to y'all right quick. For all those out there in TV land that like to get refunds does not show that you made revenue. Refunds show that you lost money. So if you're showing that you lost money, why would I borrow you money?
Money, exactly.
So if you're a business and you're filing a loss, don't waste your time filing for credit. No. Because you can't hold debt, like he talked about.
You're not showing nobody you're able to handle debt. So, yeah.
So that's extremely important for us to understand. When we're doing this, you have to pay some taxes. I hate to tell y'all what I paid in taxes. But guess what? I'm going to go grab 3 times as much from them people.
Because it's waiting on you.
It's waiting. Because I can prove I can handle it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you understand that getting the little $4,000 return, $7,000, that's cool. I ain't mad at that. But why did that matter if you just go and pay you some taxes and you can go get a 50 piece, a 70, 100? Why wouldn't you go get that as opposed to the little 7,000 or whatever, 8,000, 10, whatever? Yeah. That's nothing compared to what you can get on the other side if you just pay some taxes.
Because a lot of banks, too, they lowering their standards. So I'm going to use Associated Bank that you bring that up. Associated Bank is 640. They checking only TransUnion. The reason why I say that because it's important to know where banks pull from.
Yes.
If you know where banks pull from, you can maximize your funding, right? If they pull in TransUnion, I ain't got to worry about them pulling the rest. I'm good.
Yes.
640, 50,000, I'm good.
Right.
But am I structured right?
Are you structured correct?
You feel me?
Did you get a refund?
Did you get a refund?
you got your little $7,500 refund, but you had 50 sitting over here waiting for 50. You. Because you wanted to trick the 7,500 off, and you didn't want to invest the 50. Yeah. Because that 50 could turn to 250 in 3 months if you're doing it right.
Yeah, delayed gratification is important.
Extremely important. And that's what we want to emphasize. It's a mindset. Yeah. The reason why I'm thinking of this is because there's a young man in the audience right now who I met. He said, man, I'm an artist. They call me P-Tay, right? Man, I like the work you do, blah, 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 blah. Check this out. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a young man. He's older now, but when I met him, a young guy who knew the 3 things I talked to y'all about in the very beginning when you're looking for a mentor. This young brother said, listen, man, I want to get my song mixed by you, but I can't afford the price that you charge. So I'm going to do you a favor. Now, he called me, talking about he going to do me a favor. I said, okay, I'm listening. Because now he got my ear. Because since you going to do me a favor, I want to hear.
Yeah.
So check this out, bro. He's got a higher voice. Yeah, man, so I work for Delta Airlines. And this is what I'm going to do for you. Confident of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you as my companion.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to have you mix my record because I can't afford to pay you. I said, you had me at hello. I thought it was The Notebook or whatever that movie was. You know what I'm saying? But the thing was, that young brother understood the concept of having something to give that was tangible. He said, I see this dude in the airport every 2 or 3, 4, 5 days.
Yeah.
What I have is an asset over here.
Yeah. Yes.
Guess what?
I'm gonna use that.
I listen to his music now for free. I never hardly use the companion pass because people fly me everywhere.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not even no big deal to him. But the thing was, he caught my attention because he had an act of service right out the gate.
Right.
This man don't know if I'm a terrible guy or not.
Right.
But he knew there was something that I had. And then I started mentoring him on business.
Yeah.
The man had 900 jobs. Not a man buying houses.
That's what it's about.
And guess what? He here right now. And he already getting money doing it. But he like knowledge. And this is a young guy. Tell you, how old are you, bro? 29, youngster. I met you was probably, 23 at the time? You see what I'm saying? But now he got access to me. He called me whatever, like he my guy from back in the day. Right. But it's because he understood the concept of service and leverage. So then he started learning. Now he ain't got to pay. Remember we talked about pay? He ain't never had to pay. I never got $1 from that brother. Matter of fact, I be sending him money to pay the taxes on the flights. He get money from me. Look at that. He done flipped the script on me. But the goal was he had an assignment for his companion pass.
He knew what he wanted.
He knew what he wanted right out the gate.
He knew what he wanted.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we have to treat everything in life, not just anything, everything.
And not just credit, because financial literacy is bigger than just credit.
Absolutely.
Credit is just a small piece of it.
Yes.
Taxes, insurance, all these things matter that we suffer in, right? So
I ask this question every time I do something in financial literacy. How many people in here got life insurance? Yeah, me too. Okay, that's a nice amount of people, which is why I believe it, because y'all in here. Y'all like to learn. Think about when we was coming up back in the day, right? So back in the early 90s, stuff like that, I was in high school, and there were the cats I grew up with in my neighborhood. They were either hustling in a gang, and this was back when people used to take your starter jackets, your NBA starter jackets, right? They would come up to you, rob you for your Jordans, stuff like that, right? So imagine if all of those young brothers had life insurance. Because, when you 20, right, anything, you can get $1 million for $40. So imagine all of those cats who got all this money with the gold ropes and all that, the shoes, if they pay $40 a month to have life insurance, then go do something stupid, God rest their soul, get killed, guess what? They family rich.
Right.
They got $1 million.
Yeah, but we wear everything on.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the difference is they wouldn't have had to sell dinners for funerals.
Right.
They didn't have to, what they do now, GoFundMe for funerals. You see what I'm saying? You want to know why I brought life insurance up? Because when you outlive your policy, guess what you can do with that money? Mm-hmm. You can borrow against it.
Yeah.
Or cash it out. But this is something we're not taught. We learn when we older. I got my life insurance when I was younger, thank God. But I'll probably be paying a cart note on some life insurance right now. I'm 46. But the 26 version of me, going to grab, right, $25, $1 million. So think about small things like that. These are things we need to teach our children and our youngsters come up behind us, because that's important. And I thank God the world isn't like it was. It was real heavy with the gangs and drugs back when I was coming up. But I could think of 20 young men that died before we was at the age of 27 years old. That's 20 or so families that could have been millionaires off of the bad things that happened to them. And guess what would have happened? If that happened across the country, guess what would happen? the killings would stop because the government would change some things because it's why is Cadillac the number one selling car and the highest in the stock market? There's so many black folks down there going to get new Cadillacs every time somebody die. You think it'd be all these police shootings of killing the unarmed black men, black and brown men, if everybody that they kill had $2-3 million worth of life insurance?
Right.
Think about this.
Yeah.
All this is a cycle because we're not having the mindset.
Yeah.
Think about that. Every time they kill 5 people, that's $10 million gone. You think the government ain't you think the insurance company ain't gonna jump on their back about this? Oh, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
So if we get the mindset together as a community, then things will change overall. And that's what that's why I do these things, because things change overall if we have the right mindset.
Yeah.
So make sure if y'all don't have life insurance,
Cam
y'all
in
go
the
get
back somewhere. Cam do life insurance.
Cam, Cam, yep, you can get it from Cam. See Cam, he back there.
Yeah.
So whoever you get it from, get you some. You can see Cam if you need to. But these are things, and then later on down the line, when it's time to borrow against it or pull from it, boom, you got the money sitting there. You didn't even think about it. There are also some apps you can use for those out there. App called Acorns, if you don't have it, and an app called Stack. ST, I think it's ST. Let me get it because I got Stash.
Stash.
STASH. Stash. These apps are important. I'm gonna tell you why. Because what they do is all of my cards, all my American Express, my debits, every card I have are attached to these apps. And what these apps do are this. I go to the store, I buy a soda for $5. I buy something for $5.50. It rounds it up to the next dollar. And the 50 cents that I didn't spend goes into that account. Now think about how much money you spend in a year and how much change you get back. It takes your change and invests your change. I had one app for 2 years. It's $9,000 on an app that I can literally cash out and take the 9 G's if I wanted it right now.
Right.
The other app had like 7,500 on there. So any card that I use is taking the change and then investing the change. So the money is growing exponentially. So Acorns and Stash, if y'all haven't used them, it's crazy. I looked at the other day and I forgot I had the apps. And I'm like, wow, I got this. I'm going to the steak on me tonight, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was tripping. So these are little tools that we have that we don't even know we have, that if we use them correctly, you can invest that however you want to. So now, in the financial literacy space, I want to talk real estate right quick with you. Because I remember in our breakfast conversation, you were talking about doors. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about doors instead of flips. Okay. So talk to me why you are, your assignment is doors over flips.
So I got buddies that do flips.
Yes.
They got doors. I'm more so doors. I like passive income, right? And I like to borrow money from those doors. So if I got 10 doors, I can go to the bank and get whatever those houses is worth and go do whatever I want to do for my family as an asset.
Right.
But if you're doing flips, you got capital gains, you got all this stuff.
Facts.
So, yeah, I just like doors.
And they're trying to move, in case y'all don't pay attention to what's going on, they're trying to move capital gains to 44.6.
45.
So basically 45%.
45.
So you make 100,000 wow, 45 of it gone.
So what did that do to us? If you're in the middle class, it's not going to be a middle class.
Absolutely.
It's going to be poor and it's going to be rich.
And
no middle class if they do this.
Absolutely.
Tell them what doors are. You can't say that, like, where you
Okay.
doors from?
So what doors are is you buy a crib, a house, a home, a duplex,
right?
And you're keeping it. You're renting it out to somebody, the up and downstairs or whatever, however you do it.
Yeah.
Or you buy 8 unit and you're keeping the 8 unit and you're just collecting the rent off of it. So that's what doors are.
And
so those are your doors.
And if people don't have a home and you want a home, just buy a duplex.
There you go.
Stay downstairs, rent upstairs. Now that whole place going to pay for your property that you going to go stay in.
Facts.
Smarter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
I may have an answer.
Okay. You did just mention that you utilize those assets, your doors, your investment property
It's collateral.
As collateral.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have relationships with banks? Because that's a
Yep.
Facebook
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. I got you.
you.
Yep. You already got all my
Well,
information.
hold on, though, but I want to get this on tape. So give
Yep,
them an
so-
example. Don't just
so, yeah,
don't
so,
talk to
So
everybody
you
later.
so you can take those doors and go to a financial institution, right? And now you can go get money from those doors. I have a guy going through it right now. He got 6. So we're going to take all 6 of those and put them into one, and he's going to receive cash from it. That's
So
the goal.
he's pulling equity,
He's
basically.
pulling equity out of his house.
On investment properties, that's the disconnect that I'm.
Yeah, your investments probably shouldn't even be in your name anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That shouldn't even be.
that's key. So you should have a trust or a company, a LLC for every.
Yeah.
Well, I like to say this: for every property, create an LLC, because if they sue, something happen on that property, they're not suing you. They're not taking your money. They're suing the LLC. Guess what? Guess what? All of the big people do: bankrupt the LLCs and start a new one.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to be a president that do it all the time. I ain't gonna say his name, but you get what I'm saying.
It's a tool, though.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a financial tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you educate people on how to transfer from personal to LLC?
Yeah.
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 So everything you do, make sure you do it in the thing of business or a trust.
Yep.
There was a football, meaning soccer player, who made $600-700 million. He got married, and this chick thought she caught one. This young lady thought she caught one. So her goal was to be married just long enough to receive half of whatever the gentleman's salary was, $600-700 million, right? But what she did not know,
What she did not know.
what she did not know is none of anything was in his name. It was in his mama's. It wasn't even in a trust. So when
Right.
she divorced him, it showed he made $0. His mama made what he made. So guess how much money she got when she divorced? Nathaniel.
I like that.
She got half a zero.
I like that.
I'm telling you that story. That's a real story. You can Google it. I'm not playing. I was like, that was genius. Like, I would have never thought of that. That was genius. And the reason why, his mother was standing on this. So he did it. So the same thing applies. If you put it in a trust, the government can't touch your money. So learn what trusts are and how to create those. And put your property into the trust. And then pay yourself and your family off of the trust, because the trusts are taxed differently as well. All right? Yes, ma'am.
But isn't that the difference between a non-revocable and a revocable trust?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, I have a non-revocable, which means I can make changes I think
Whatever you want.
business on its own.
And it's locked in. It's locked in as that. Yep. So you want to be, I would say when you first start, make it where you can make changes, because you're learning, so you don't know right out the gate what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? But that's like for me, it's over with. I get divorced, my wife get everything, but it's over with for me. So I'm telling it for y'all. For all those who may not, you know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. She get every. I was broke when I met her, so she deserved everything she got. If it happened, you get what I'm saying? But I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about other people that I don't know.
Right.
It's those people that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
That want to, man, he made me feel away. Especially today, I can say the wrong joke and they suing me. Like, for what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So make sure you put those assets that you have in those trusts. And you can, how many people have children out here? Okay, I got a son. He's 2.5. I paid my son this year.
$12,000.
13.
13.
Yep. I think it's 13 this year that you get. Well, 2023. I'm sorry. It's 2024 has changed.
Okay.
2023, he got paid, and it's a write-off, and he don't have to pay taxes because it goes into a trust for him. So there are things you can do with finances, and as you make more money, you're going to look for ways to not have to pay taxes.
You
Trust
are.
me.
You are.
You're going to want to pay some, but you ain't going to give all your money away.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right.
Yes. So I'll give you an example. If you're buying properties, you're buying things, homes and things of that nature. So when I was purchasing a property for $750,000 or something like that. When the brokerage or a bank or whatever is looking, you have to have enough income to pay whatever that mortgage will be.
Right.
So something like that, you're probably paying $4,000, $5,000 a month. If you showing if you're not even at least making $60,000 to cover that, it's 2.5, I think it is. So that would be what, 180 or something like that, 150, 170. If you're not at least making that, they're not gonna even give you the loan to get the property. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you have revenue, because I don't know nobody out here buying houses for $30,000 that they're going to live in or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you have it goes back to what he said, assignment. So if I know I'm going to spend $750K, I can do in my mind what that payment is going to be a month, roughly, $5,000, $6,000, $4,000, whatever. I always say overshoot it. And then you're going to times it by 2.5. So you want to make sure that your income for the month is 2.5 times that number. So basically, you making $17,000 or $18,000 a month or whatever it will be. You get what I'm saying? Because now they know that you can overly cover that. You get what I'm saying? I think the thing is 2.5 times whatever that number would be. I think that's what it is. If I ain't right, mistaken.
Yeah.
It's about right?
No, you
yeah.
good. But
so,
you said income, and it just piqued me that a lot of times we apply for credit and stuff like that, and they never ask for our income.
Never.
They never ask for your income, Miss Janice.
But you know when they're going to ask for it?
They
when you ask for an increase.
They ask for the income of the total household.
Yep. Exactly.
They never ask for your income. That income of total household means Lamont Smith's income, credit guy income, my wife's income. If my dog was working, I'm using his too, because I'm getting $40,000 and $50,000 limits. You hear me? So we got to read those little boxes when we're applying for stuff, because they show us how to apply for credit.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Is it also true that if you use personal credit to leverage to get business credit cards and stuff like that, I can't think of the word, but eventually, like, if it comes to a situation where you're having a problem paying, that they can come after you personally as well?
Yeah, so I'm thinking you asking if you got business credit cards or business whatever, and you PG for it, right? Yeah, it's coming on your credit.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you go to a bank or you apply for a credit card in a business name, you're gonna PG for it, because no matter what Facebook tell you, right?
You got a PG.
They tell you can get $50,000 with your EIN only. That's a lie. You can get $50,000 of store credit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But you're not getting no real tangible capital where you can use it, right? So definitely you're gonna PG for it. If you default on it, it will be on your personal credit.
And PG means personal guarantor. So yeah. So the goal is not to
default. We don't get it to default.
Yeah.
Like the rest of these 56% people.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm not defaulting on nothing because I want some more.
Because I want I want to keep going.
Yeah, I want to keep running
I
it up.
actually want to create another LLC and do it all over again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So.
Now, like I have a nonprofit, a 501c3. It's called Dreams Never Expire. I have credit cards for that as well.
You should.
The exact same cards I got. That's why I got so many cards. I got me, I got my production company, and I have my nonprofit organization.
So imagine, Chad, all that capital.
Yep. See.
Right? You can do so much. But if you got the wrong mindset,
I can
hurt yourself.
I can go crazy, yeah. The
You know
good
what I
thing is
mean?
I'm the cheapest person in the world. I can have $300 million in my pocket. We can go to Carson's. That's it. I'm gone. That's it. We can go for $200 and I'm gone. That's it. This outfit, I bought this outfit 4 years ago. I seen it in the class. I said, I ain't wore this. Pop the tag and I threw it on. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I don't call it being cheap. I just trying to be funny. But I call it knowing what you're doing with what you have. Yeah. I would rather buy a truck that's making me money every month and then taking $200 or $300 every month and buying me some Jordans or something off of the $35 or $4,000 that's bringing. Right. Instead of just buying a Jordan.
Or you can just use your cashback rewards.
Ain't no question. But I'm letting them run up for a purpose. Cashback rewards. Explain to them what this is what we was in there talking about buying watches and all type of stuff with cashback rewards the other day.
So cashback rewards and flight miles is just using your credit card points or cashback to shop, right? I'm gonna give you an example. So Barclay, they got a credit card. If you buy a cup of coffee for $1, they give you 65,000 points. Now 65,000 points, that's a round trip ticket anywhere in the United States.
Facts.
I'm talking about leveraging your good credit to live your lifestyle.
Off a $2, $5 cup of coffee.
You get what I'm saying? So it's just knowing. That's why it's important to know what cards you're applying for, and so you know how to work them.
Facts. And that's the key. So if you see me, I'm swiping something purple.
Yeah.
Because that's a Delta Sky Mile. It's gonna be a business purple card.
Yes. Always business.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to leverage that. Because they'll give me more for my business card, even though I use my personal to get the business card, than they will give me for my personal.
Because most of the time it's 10 times as much.
Exactly.
On the business side, they're gonna give you.
Yep.
Than they do with the personal.
Facts.
So a lot of banks won't want to see a credit card for $5,000 or something like that, and they're gonna give you $15,000 to $20,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely.
And that's important. That's what you want. Like I think one of my cards they gave me like 15 G's or something. I was like, okay, so this is what I'm thinking when I get the card. What can I buy for $15,000 or that's high,
Right.
so that I can pay it
Real quick.
that month? So next month I can go halfway, pay it, and then ask for an increase.
Ask for increase every 90 days.
90 days. Yep.
Every 90 days.
Yep.
Increase.
Yep. But you can't ask for an increase if you're not spending the money they gave you.
Right.
So don't stress yourself on spending the money.
Spend the money.
But if you buy a house or if you buy something that you're getting ready to spend the money on, like I was showing some seats I bought for my house. I was gonna buy them anyway. But why would I get a store card to buy them when I got my own credit card already? I don't want a store card.
Right.
I'm gonna swipe that on the card so I can say I can handle this debt because it went from this number to 0.
Yep.
Can I get some more now?
Another thing I've been seeing with credit card debt is they lowering limits.
Yes.
They lowering people limits. So if your credit card is maxed out, either they're gonna lower that limit or they're gonna close that account.
Yep.
Which really I've seen a 600% utilization.
That's crazy.
600%, right? They closing it or they lowering it, which means like you're becoming a risk.
Yes.
Banks don't like risk.
Yep.
Nobody like risk, right?
Yep.
So be sure to just pay your cards down is what I'm
Yep.
saying. Because I've been seeing a lot of that.
And that's why I'm saying use the money. If you're going to buy something that you're going to spend your money with, put it on a card and then spend that money the next week. Like pay it off. Like
We
that's
energies.
why. Yep.
We energies, your cell phone bill.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah. Yeah, you can. Well, I would tell you what. You got to use your personal
First.
at least once a year, once or twice a year. Otherwise, they're gonna close.
Close it. Yeah.
So you're gonna use it. For me, I got a U.S. Bank. It's a red one, but I use that for my house bills. So every single bill I have for home, it goes on that card, and it get paid in full every time. And every 2 or 3 months, I get an increase. But everything else I do is all business.
And then I have some cards that are personal. What I'll do is I'll put things like, you know how you got subscriptions to stuff?
Yeah.
I'll put that on there.
Yeah.
$30, $20,
Yeah.
$15.
Because you got to use them.
Netflix. You got to use them.
You got to use them.
Netflix, $20 a month or $15, whatever. I'll put the Netflix on one. I'll put Hulu on another. I'll put BET Plus. Like, I just, like, $5.99. I'm using the card. I just ain't running it up.
Then you got some cards that'll pay that bill for you, though, Chad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I know it.
That.
But otherwise, I do that on purpose because otherwise I won't use the card and forget I got it. That happened to me. I had a Capital One card with 11 years of age. Forgot I had the card. It had like 40,000, and it closed because I forgot I had the card.
Yeah.
That'll never happen to me again. I felt so stupid.
Yeah, we need that one.
Yeah, we definitely need those. 40 bands for 11 years?
Man.
So that's why I should have put BET Plus or Paramount or something on that
Right.
car. It would have never closed because it at least they ain't going to close it if it's a $2 balance on there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I say do stuff like that. And then put your auto pay. I mean, you're not going to miss the $5 or $10 that come out of your account. It's so small. You know what I'm saying? Right. That way you're making sure all your cars are active. Because after a certain years of active, they're going to send you a note, a letter, and I don't even hardly open my mail. I'm going to keep it real.
Oh, don't say that.
So,
man. That's our problem. We don't open our mail.
Man, I look at it real quick, like, all right, cool. But
I'm going to give you an example, right? If I got a collection with Freighter, right, I owe Freighter $1,600. After 3 months, they filed on their profit and loss statements, which means they got paid for it, right?
Yep.
So AmeriCollect comes along, right? AmeriCollect buy a stack of debt, not just your debt, but they buy a stack of debt. They send you a letter in the mail, and they say, hey, Chad, we recently purchased this debt from Freighter. They stated you owe $1,600. You have 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, the debt would be assumed to be valid. Now, I'm not the smartest guy, but they tell me I'm the only one that can validate debt.
Exactly.
You feel me? So, I only bring that up because you talk about the mail.
Yeah, for sure.
Our problem, we don't open our mail unless it's a check.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We got to open up our mail in response to these people. They cannot put a collection on your credit if you respond.
Exactly.
Cease and desist.
Yep.
1692G, right?
That's the code.
You got to read it.
Yep. And that's a fact.
15 USC 1692G, it talks about validation of debt. 15 USC 1681A, it talks about privacy, right? We are consumers. As consumers, we have a right to privacy. And privacy means, what does it mean to you? Before anything is put on your credit, they should reach out to you. A written notice should be sent to you. But I guarantee nobody online, nobody here has ever gotten that. Everybody getting paid off your name but you. Ain't that crazy?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, that's good. I'm glad you brought it up. I still don't check my mail. But I ain't got none of that either, though. So, what?
15 USC 1692G is validation of debt.
And that means if they can't validate that debt.
And validation is not the verification of your address.
Exactly.
Or not no bank statement, because I think I'm a smart guy. And Chad, you may be smarter than me, but I think me and you can go in Adobe and create a bank statement.
All day long.
Right? And
Facts.
say, hey, here, this is
right.
that. So no, they got to prove to you that is yours.
Yep. And if they can't prove to you, guess what they got to do?
They got to remove
Take it off. And that Mariah Carey, she say shake it off, my bad. They got to take that joint off.
Yeah.
So make sure you understand that.
Yeah.
I done got plenty of things taken off on my joint.
Yeah.
That I've done, by the way.
Right.
That really was me.
Yeah, yeah.
But they got to prove it. It's too late. It's gone. There's nothing they can do.
They got to prove
But they got to prove it, though. And do not let the people on the other line aggressively make you feel like they got to do something. You the winner. They trying to put dinner on their table, but you really the winner, though.
Yeah,
you hold all the
everything
power.
in writing.
Yeah.
You want everything in writing.
Facts.
You want paper trails. Paper trail, everything.
Facts.
Don't call me no more. Send it to me in writing.
Yeah. Facts. Does anybody, before we wrap up, does anybody have any more questions?
And I'm going to hang around, too, a little bit.
Yeah. Cam, yes, sir.
Yeah, so if anybody here wants to jump on track, start getting their credit in order, what can they do?
Text 262-475-0971. You can text ready, and my assistant will reach out to you.
So if you're out there watching, I got you.
Yep.
So if you're out there watching and you are ready to get your credit in order,
But ready to work, though. Hold on.
yeah,
Ready
here we
to
go.
work.
Let's go.
Ready to work, because, I don't want to waste time.
Right. If you're ready to work for real, because he's not gonna do all the work for you. You got too much going on. And what's the number they text?
262-475-0971. Just text ready, and somebody will respond to you.
So text ready to that number. Even if
And
you're
we can
watching.
get on the calendar. We do 20 minutes or so on Zoom. I love Zooms because I just don't like doing a lot of talking.
There you go. Yeah.
And I like to show people exactly what I'm saying, so you don't think I'm just pulling it out my hat. Like those codes, I want y'all to go read those.
Facts.
Right? Because that's key. We consumers. We control everything. Without us signing our name, anything above our name don't mean nothing if we don't sign it. Right? So we got to understand who we are and whose we are. We
Right.
control this.
Right. That's extremely important. So, seeing that there are no questions, man, as we depart, we're going to stick around for maybe 20 minutes, before we get out of here. So if y'all got any questions, y'all can holler at Cam as well. Cam, put your hand up, brother, so we know who you are. He's the cleanest man in the room. He's the easiest one to identify. He got a $475,000 suit, so y'all know who he is in the back. But as we got, first of all, I want to appreciate everybody that came.
Appreciate you.
That shows that the mindset is in that direction or already there. In closing, man, I want to make sure that things you go through, your adversity, advances your assignments. So make sure you understand when you're going through whatever it is you're going through, it's that obstacle is there to advance your assignments. And how it does that is it allows you to use your brain, because I've never seen at the gym, and I'm there quite often, somebody open their skull and put their brain on a treadmill and have it work out for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and run like you can physically do. So we use obstacles, struggles, and issues to work our brains out. And those adversities advances our assignments, because assignments are things that, I'll use this term for those who may not believe what I believe, a higher power uses those as things to encourage us and move us forward. And a higher power gives us an assignments.
Yes, sir.
Those are things we received when we were born, our assignments, whatever higher power you believe in. And the difference is that higher power, in my case, is God. So God does not give me an assignment that he has not already paid for.
Yep.
It's just about me doing the work.
Yep.
All right? So I want us to take that with us on our way out the door, because a lot of times we go through stuff and get frustrated. But one thing about emotions ain't never solved no business.
No.
You do, not the emotion. So take emotions out of the business, and you're going to always be successful. And I'll say always, meaning even if you fail, you've learned something, is why I'm saying that.
Fail forward.
Exactly. You failed forward is what he said.
Well,
All right? No matter what you go through, no matter how long you go through it, all of us have dreams, whether we're kids, adults. And one thing about dreams, they're available to us, but we think dreams are something that we see when we're asleep. But there are people living them every single day. So whatever dream it was you had, I don't care how long ago, one thing about that dream, it never expires. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.